Hey, it's me, Kate. I am so excited that you are listening to this podcast. Over the years of my experience, while I was finding myself, learning who I am, crafting my story, and helping other people do the same thing, that I've seen that sharing your story, crafting your story helps you not only find out who you are, but it truly helps you become vulnerable. And through vulnerability comes healing. And I have seen one person after another turn into this powerhouse, finding their inner power and using that to manifest the things that they want, turn it into their business opportunity, and learn to also go and inspire and encourage people around the world, sharing the things that they have healed from, and then be able to go inspire others to do the same. So the women that come on here are sharing their inner power, sharing who they are, becoming vulnerable. And it has taken a lot of courage for them to get on here and share their story. So I encourage you to unplug from the world and plug into this episode, because inside this episode, you're going to hear an individual share some life lessons, some inner pain that they had to go through, some of this vulnerability that helped them become who they are today. And that might even just help you find that one little piece of seed that will be planted into your life that will help you bloom and blossom and become that powerhouse individual that you need to help you grow your business, to help you with your family, help you with your friends, whatever it may be. So come, listen, let's get into it. Well, hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to introduce you to Angee Hernandez. How are you?
Thank you so much, first of all, for having me here. It's an honor. I'm doing amazing. Just like super happy to share with you guys a little bit of my story.
So, you know what's interesting, and I don't think I ever told you this, but I actually think that I came across your social media years ago. So I have mad respect for you. I've seen you, heard you from the industry being like so successful in what you do as a woman. And I think I came across your social media because I went back and looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, I really recognize her. And it's so interesting how, God has such a plan with circling people back around and getting each other connected. And we didn't even know each other then. And here we are today, doing a podcast together. So tell me a little bit about you first and where you're from, where you live, and then we'll dive into some cool questions and deeper questions.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, okay, so as you guys can tell, I have an accent. I'm from Colombia. I came to United States it's gonna be more than 21 years, 22 years. And I came here with a lot of dreams. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. And back in Colombia, I wanted to go to school for anthropology. I was really good student. I was like the best student. I love reading. I love just going to school. I was kind of like designed to grow up, go to school, get a good job, and then retire. That was my life, have babies, marry, the whole thing, it was great for me. But when we had to move to United States, everything changed. I came here with not knowing the language.
Wow, okay.
So zero English. I remember being at the airport with my mom. We didn't understand anything. And then one of these guys, like the police is like, can I see your passport? And we're like looking at him like, hi, my name is Angela. We're just like, I have no idea. That's like zero English. And we had only $100 in our pocket. So we went to a friend's house, and what we started doing, it's cleaning houses, because I was kind of like designed, or basically for a stereotype. Because I'm Latina, coming from South America, speaking Spanish. My stereotype, or like I was kind of like groomed in certain points to clean houses, to work in restaurants, and to never believe or think that you can have more. So that was my life for the first 5 years, cleaning houses and restaurants, being broke every single day, and just never even believing that you can own a car or a house. You always have to live with a bunch of people in the house, and one bathroom for like 20 people, like crazy stories like that, until To make it very short, I was cleaning a house one day, and then this guy, the owner of this house, tells me, I have a gift for you. So with this broke mindset that I have at that
Mhm.
point, very poor mindset, I was thinking he was gonna give me money, a car, a house. I don't know, just give us super rich. So it's like, oh,
Right.
this guy is gonna give me a house. So he gives me a book, and I actually have it here somewhere. I'm like looking at my library, and it's an old book. And he pulled it out of his house, gave it to me, and I was so upset. I was just like, what? With all the money that this guy has and is giving me a book? Come on,
Mhm.
like for real? Is this like really happening? I was so upset. I was so disappointed, quote unquote. Again, the poor and broke mindset that I have at that point. Got home, never pick up the book for a couple months, and then one day I was just bored. I was started reading the book, and this book is Think and Grow Rich.
I was wondering if you're going to say that one, either Think and Grow Rich or Rich Dad Poor Dad, one
Yeah,
of those.
yeah. But then the book, first of all, I don't know if you guys have read that book. I read that book every single year. I just love it, and every time I find something, because the book it feels like it's written in like right now. So
Mm,
and every single time that I read it, it kind of like takes me to a different place in my life, because we all grow in life.
right.
We all have different seasons. There are seasons that we need more financial freedom. There are seasons that we need more personal growth or relationships. So when you read the book the second time, you may be in a different season, and it helps you in a different way.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
so that's how that started reading the book, and super boring at the beginning, by the way. It's just like really
Yeah.
the most boring book I ever read in my entire life. Uh, but this is what the book did. I started asking myself, what if? What if I can make money? What if I can have this? What if I can be successful? What if I can have my own business? What if I can actually be like a powerful voice for other people? It
Mm,
just that it's just that question. It changed my life forever, because then I started opening my mind to the opportunities. There's hundreds of opportunities right there outside 24/7. The
right.
problem is that we don't see it, because we
Mhm.
start looking into the problems that the financial crisis that we're going through, but we don't see like the opportunities that we have. It's kind
Right.
of like if I tell you, how many red cars do you saw today, and you're like, really,
Oh,
like,
you didn't pay attention. Right.
yeah, because you're not paying attention. Same thing with opportunities. um and then after that, I literally started into network marketing. That was my first like entrepreneur business, which it changed my life. Personal
Mhm.
growth,
How
learning.
long was that, after the 5 years when you read the book, or when
Yeah.
was that?
So so 5 years working cleaning houses, then got the book. Probably the first 6 months, I started
Mhm.
opening my mind to kind of like, hey, let me sell things. So I will buy. So my first thing before network marketing, I will just like got into eBay and all these websites where I can just like buy something at TJ Maxx, like
Yeah.
super cheap, and then I will resell it. So it's like, buy it for like $20, resell it for 40. I ended up making like really good money and doing that, like, like the
Uh-huh.
swapping thing.
Yep.
Um,
That's
so
so funny. You're like one person I talked to about eBay in a long time. I did the same thing. Like, just like the eBay days of buying things and selling it online. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
I know. I just like, now that you ask me like how I'll just like, wait, before my network
Yeah.
marketing, I started doing that, and how crazy it was, because I was just like, oh, there's so many ways to make money. So I actually would go to my sister's house, my mom's house, my friend's house, and I will ask like, hey, do you have anything that you want to give? Like clothes, furniture, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they will just give it to me for free. I will list it on eBay or Craigslist and post it and sell it.
That's crazy. So where were you living when you were cleaning houses and getting started in network marketing?
So I was so we when we came from Colombia, we stayed in Stamford, Connecticut for a couple years, 2 years. We moved to Florida. And
Mhm.
that's what kind of like my whole, I was still like working in different like restaurants, things like that,
Yeah.
cleaning houses, but I was just more open to different opportunities. And that's when everything started in network marketing. So I started making some money and I started like meeting some people. And then one of these times somebody tells me like, hey, do you want to make extra money? So it's like, yes.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? It's like, this is you.
Mhm.
If you bring 3 people,
Oh yeah, huh?
it's like, wow, I saw this business person like, this is such an incredible business model. I thought it
Mhm.
was new. I didn't even know anything about network marketing. So I got in my first company and it was really, really hard, extremely
Mm.
hard. I didn't make any money for a year. But again, the personal growth in the books and the
Yeah.
connections and the people started leading me to a lot more things.
Yeah.
Um, in this process, I knew I needed to work a lot on myself first before you can even
Mhm.
make money.
All
Because
right.
money is just a reflection of who you are and your
Yes.
beliefs and what you do. And then I just didn't understand why none of my business or things will work.
Right.
It was all about me. So one of my friends tells me, hey, if you want to change your life, you should go to a Tony Robbins event.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And I was still really broke.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, let me go to Tony Robbins event. $750 ticket. It was
Mhm.
in Chicago. I was in Florida. I didn't have the money to do that. I ended up driving from Florida to Chicago, slept in my car for 4 days,
Oh my goodness.
got the money together for the entrance. So yes, I didn't take a shower for 4 days.
Okay. Did you at least have some change of clothes?
Yeah, I did. I have some white peas.
Oh, good.
No, but it was just, and the event per se did not change my mind in my life. What it changed my life, it was when you completely decide to radically change your life and you take
Yeah.
action towards,
Mm.
is that
Yep.
everything changed because I was in such a desperation and
Yeah.
I needed so much healing because I've been through like very abusive relationships. It was so much going on at that point in my life that I was ready to completely let everything go,
Yeah.
and I needed that. So the event, yeah, it's like the rah, like it's a lot
Right.
of incredible information. You meet people, like you feel empowered. But it wasn't specifically the event. It's me sleeping in the car and sacrificing and taking action towards my
Yeah.
life, which after that is when I came back home. It's like like this is it. I'm gonna change my life. And 3 months later, I was already making $10,000 a month.
Wow.
Start building my
Awesome.
business, and
Mhm.
a couple years later, make my first $1 million, and
Wow.
we are.
I love that story. And I love that you hit on taking action because as you were talking, it made me kind of start to just think of some of my own experience and just listening to some of the different people that talk about their experience in getting started and going to events and going to different mindset events and things like that. And I believe that there's two things that play a big role in success in your life, and it's getting that mindset on track, right? And a lot of people don't learn that at the beginning of their career, whether it be network marketing or not, and then taking action. And you can go all the time to different events. You can always show up to those things, but if you're not applying and taking action to constantly also after leaving that event applying what you learned and with the action, it's not like a free ticket, like success ticket that you're going to show up to an event and get the rah and then leave and then have that success. You have to keep applying what you learned and keep growing and finding new ways to plug into new things to learn from. And I think that's been something that is on my heart to always help encourage people, especially women, that you don't go from event to event to event and just think that one day you're going to get successful. It's like literally give yourself that moment, give yourself that chance to go home from that event and tell yourself that you deserve everything you've heard. You
Yeah.
deserve that and more, and then apply it. And I think that's so key that you brought it up. So how did that work for you? Because I mean, you leave an event, you get success, you don't always have every day working out for you. So what was it for you to keep that drive and that, persistence to keep you going in that way?
So a few things, and this is like the part that nobody wants to hear, right?
Yeah.
Because you feel like you go to this event, you learn this, you have this business opportunity, whatever you're doing, like you have the opportunity, but then what happens after you take action on looking into it is taking action to make a reality, and that's the hard part. So first of all, I understood that that was going to take a lot of sacrifice, like tons of sacrifice. I needed to change my routine. I needed to change the things that I was doing. So I needed
What
to
is some
like
of that routine? Yeah, tell me some of
that,
that routine. Yeah.
yeah. So the first thing, waking up earlier. So
Yeah.
I started waking up at 5 a.m. It's like I started, like the first thing I started doing is have a gratitude journal that I still do to today. Wake up, get my coffee, and just write 3 things that I'm grateful for. And you
Yeah.
think it's easy, but like you cannot repeat them. So every day being grateful for something else, it's just like, wow, let me be grateful for this cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Or be grateful for the flies that are in my house. I don't know, like
Right,
things like
right.
that. But that makes you, first of all, being humble. And when you start with a grateful sense, or
Yeah.
you start with the gratefulness of being grateful for what you have and who you are right now, it changes the perspective and everything. So after that, I used to, like, not, I don't do it all the time right now because I'm being a little bit lazy, but used to just go to the gym, like even walking or doing some kind of exercise.
Yeah.
By 6 a.m. I was already done with those 2 things, and I started just making a list of the things that I needed to do. I'm really big into lists, and
Right.
it up to today, I just like going back to the list. What am I doing? What are the steps? And this is what I do before I go to bed. It's still to today. It helps me so much to not be overwhelmed and to actually get results. Before I go to bed, I write down 10 things that I need to do the next day, but they're like, they have to be done. And then out of those 10 things, I'm gonna choose only 3 that it has to be a must.
Yeah.
The other 7 or 6, depending, I can just delegate. I can just maybe take a little bit more time. I can preset anything like that. But what happens is that in the morning when I wake up, I already know exactly what I have to do. So
Right.
by doing just like three steps or 2 steps, then you're ahead of the game. Because many times we just waste so much time. So at the beginning, what I was doing, I was like, I'm trying not to waste time either in social media, watching TV, music, or anything like that. I'm going to wake up, do my gratitude, go to the gym, and then work on my list. Now, if I have some time, then I do something else. But it was just like that. But it was like that for probably 5 years.
Wow. And you know what? Also, it holds you accountable too.
Yeah.
Not only keeping you ahead, but it holds you accountable daily. And
Yeah.
accountability for yourself is so important,
And,
be-
and that's when we lack, because you go to an event, like you're excited, you want to achieve all this success, but then every single day you're like going back,
yeah.
oh, like it's not for me. Oh, you get discouraged.
Yeah.
So but you having a call to action and like, okay, I'm gonna do this no matter what. Another thing
Mhm.
that I did is kind of like drink my own Kool-Aid. I
Okay.
don't believe I can make money. I don't believe I can be successful. I don't believe all those things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm broke, I'm poor, I'm never gonna make $1 million, like things like that. So what I did is I used the power of manifestation, basically, of the law of attraction, and
Yep.
I would write all over my house like, I am making $10,000 a month. I am living the life of my dreams. I am doing these things. And I'm just like this. I like help me to, whenever I feel discouraged, I
Yep.
feel like this is so hard. I'm hearing so many no's, so many people laughing in my face. Just know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Even to today, my screen in my phone has
Information.
yeah. Yeah, I'm grateful and blessed now that I'm making $1 million per year doing what I love. I'm not there yet, but hey, it's there. It's in my
Yes.
vision board. I'm so grateful and happy that I'm in control of my life. So things like that I write all the time. So I'm like looking at it, it's like, you know what? Yes, I'm not at my goal yet, but how can I get there? So then you switch your mentality instead of being like a victim,
Yeah.
be more like, oh, okay, well, I'm not there yet. What else can I do so I can get closer to it?
That's amazing. I'm all about affirmations. I'm all about scripting. That's something that scripting is something I learned later in my life, which I wish I learned earlier. Because I always did dream boards. I always did like manifesting. And it's like I didn't learn that, wow, what you're saying, unless you're believing it, isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And finding and actually feeling it, right? Feeling it deep down inside of you, feeling it as if it's already happened. That's something that I really dug deep in the last probably 4 years of my life recently, actually, just really, really getting into it to the point where I can literally script and manifest things into my life now. And it's such a powerful tool to use. So, okay, so hold on a second. We're going to back up now a little
Yeah.
bit, because one of the things that I always encourage women, especially the people that I speak to and listen to these podcasts, is you have to be able to get vulnerable with yourself and
Yeah.
vulnerable with the people around you, because like minds attract to each other. And when you're vulnerable, you open the door, right, for people to see who you are, and then they also find more acceptance in opening up for themselves. So with that, I want you, the people that are listening, I want you to encourage them to open up, because people are listening to this right now and they're hearing some amazing, success and a story that's going on. But what was a moment in your life, okay, that it could be before you started network marketing, or before you had success, or during, because I love even stories during, because not everybody has those moments where it's just all flowers and
Yeah.
sunshine,
No.
that
Yeah.
you went through, that you hit rock bottom, that you feel like that it was just a very hard part in your life, and you didn't see yourself maybe even coming out of it. And what was that?
Okay, I have absolutely two. One, the second one is the one that I feel like it's gonna resonate with more with everyone, especially for females and women right now.
Okay.
The first one, super short, is when I was in this journey to make money, to make it happen. I was broke, drove my car, slept in the car. So like those moments, I was like rock bottom. I came out of a very abusive relationship and I was still like struggling to speak the language. So that's just like the first thing, that's the moment that I said, just like, I'm deciding to absolutely change my life. This is never gonna happen to me ever again. If other people has done it, why not me? And then so that's like when I changed my life and my financial side. So like that's when I started doing like building and recruiting and business and selling and started making $10,000 a month. So I changed my life because of the decisions that I make. Now the second time, this is the second time. That was in 2016. I was already making a lot of money, I was making probably like $70,000-$80,000 a month through my network marketing business. I had everything that you can ever imagine. Like I will go to the stores and money wasn't an issue for
Mm-hmm,
anything. I would
mm-hmm.
just go to like money was not like an issue at all for anything, spending any money. And but I was in a relationship at that point. And then I started because I was making really good money and I wasn't like the peak of my career. And everybody's like saw me as the leader, like just get the stage and things
Right.
like that. My ego started to get
Mm.
very high. Like
Wow.
I started like, oh, I'm better than like I'm better than this person.
Yeah.
I'm better than this. Like, look at that. I worked really hard to get what I want. So go do, kind of like my personality was like very more like ego,
Mhm.
definitely driven by ego. And I was like, I have all the money. I don't care. This is never gonna get destroyed. So I wanted to have a family.
Mm.
Wanted to have a family. We bought a house and we moved to Florida and another place in Florida. Dream house, dream vacations, dream everything. Got pregnant. And when I was 6 months pregnant, the baby died.
Oh, wow.
So I had the baby, and the crazy thing is, like, I started getting a lot of pain, contractions, went to to the hospital, and then when I go to the hospital, they said, you're gonna have a baby, like you're gonna have the baby now, 6 months, which there's a lot of kids that are born in 6 months.
Yeah, very premature. Right, right.
Yeah, but this is what the doctor said. She said, you're gonna have a baby, and as soon as he's born, he's gonna die.
Oh my God, before you even like
I was
gave
still like,
birth.
and I was just like I never had kids before. I don't know what's going
Wow.
on. And I was just like, oh, hey, I don't know, do whatever you have to do. Money is not an issue. Like, put it back. I don't know, just like put it back, or just like stop it or whatever. Like,
Right.
like,
Okay, everybody, everything go back, please.
yeah,
Everything
yeah,
go
yeah,
back to
put it
normal.
back, or give me some
Right.
medicine so this doesn't happen. It's like, sorry, there's nothing we can do. So I was in labor for more than 24 hours.
Girl, geez.
Yes. And then he was born alive, but then he died a few minutes, like 30 minutes
Aw.
after. That was the moment that, like, everything changed again for me, because it brought me down to understanding, going back to the humble beginnings, and understanding that money, yes, we need it to survive. It's right here, it's right here with
Right.
oxygen, but the values of a person, there's more important.
Yeah.
The things that I was believing at that point, like the cars, the money, the things like that, that's truly not important if you're
Right.
not truly happy.
It's a
So
tool. It's a
yeah,
tool.
and then so then, okay, so of course I got into a very, like, depression. I couldn't even talk to anybody. I stopped doing the business. I stopped working. The
Mhm.
guy that I was with left me. He took the house. He took half of my business.
Wow.
Literally, I ended up living back to my parents' house, and I didn't want to do anything. I was like extremely depressed, anxiety, lack of motivation, everything for a whole year. So all 2016. It took me a full year to actually get on the phone with people, to actually go out, to actually speak about it. Um,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like, that was the lowest moment, but also in the lowest moments of your life is when you have the most learning experience,
True.
because that teach me, like, again, values, community, like what is really important in my life. So decided after that point to, January 2017, I moved to Miami, and I built my business all over again, my network marketing business, from zero again to over, a couple $1 million in sales per month,
Wow.
just because, again, but it's in a different values, different
Different.
beliefs, different
Yep.
people. Now
Mhm.
I was with the people, now I was working hand in hand with them. And I
Mhm.
just, I feel like that's just like a moment where, yes, I kind of like quit for a whole year, but there's a point where you have to know that life is super short, and then bad things are gonna happen. They're gonna happen regardless. People are gonna die. You're gonna lose money, or you're gonna, like, there's things that are gonna happen. There have to happen, because nobody has. If you're reading a book, it's not gonna be like, today life is beautiful, page number 100, life is still beautiful, end of the book, life is always beautiful.
Yes.
We read the book, so we watch the movies that have all these roller coasters.
Yes.
You're like, oh, what is gonna happen now? This is what's happening. And that's what your life is about. It's about writing each chapter in each
Right.
page of your book, and then and this is what I always think, and I always teach to the people that work with me. How do you want your book to be? How do you want the end of the book to be? Yes, really sad things are gonna happen in your life. It's
Right.
life, things are gonna happen,
Yeah.
but how do you want the end to be? Like,
Right.
that you conquer that you
Yeah.
got, that you learn from it, that you inspire other women, that you took what happened to you to empower, coach, or create something, create a business, or do something different with the things that happen in your life.
Yeah. People always want to like talk about how their book is going and how they want their book to look like. But you're right. It's about what does it look like at the end? because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the chapters look like. It matters how the book ends. Everyone wants to read the end of the book, right?
Ah,
And
yeah.
in between is just lessons and growth. And I spoke to my mom the other day, and I was just talking to her about how thankful I am and how thankful I am through the lessons I've learned. And for a while there, I never really thanked God, thanked the universe, whatever you believe in, like for those lessons. But like now I look at those lessons and I'm so thankful for them. And that's when you know that you really truly not only healed through things that you've gone through, but you've also learned through them. Because I bring those lessons on, right? Because it's so much more powerful, to grow from that and achieve bigger and better after it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, and it's sometimes I feel like, okay, God, I learn, no more
I know,
learning
no more of that one. But if you
experiences.
really didn't learn, he's going to say to you, well, I don't know if you really 100% learned from it. So we might circle back around to that one again.
Yeah, I was like, okay, got it. Third time is a charm, does
Right.
it? And
Yeah.
and I feel like when people sees my social media or sees me in the stage or reads any of my books or things like that, um, it's not because I've been had a perfect life, and it's not because I have the perfect life around business or anything. It's because I made the most mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's again, mistakes that I have made, decisions, stupid decisions that I have made, and things that it has happened in my life that is just like, why? What I was thinking. But
Mm-hmm.
going back and recognizing that, and the best thing that you can do is recognize the things that have happened in your life, the mistakes, things that you have said, things that you've done, and then just like, okay, you know what? I can change that, because at the end of the day, you're the one in control of the
Yes.
end of the book. So if you want something to change, you need to change.
Yep. You're holding the pen. Yep.
Yeah.
So do you ever get those little feelings still from, losing the baby during those times? Does that still creep up a little bit inside of you? Some of that, a little bit sadness and emotions?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially at the beginning, of course, the first couple years it's been over like 8 years already, seven
Okay.
years. So it's easier. The more that you talk about it, it's
Yeah.
easier.
I love that. Yeah.
The more that you share about it, it's easier, and
Yeah.
then you realize that you're not alone. First
Right.
of all, like I thought it was like it's me, I did something wrong. But when you actually research, and I was researching, like almost 7 out of 10 women have a miscarriage,
Mm-hmm.
or something happened with the baby.
Right.
Especially right now, there's a lot of women that are going through because of environment, what we eat, hormonal issues,
Yeah.
things like that. It's just what it is. So you're not alone. There's women that have been through like worse.
Yeah.
So it is hard, because I always, like that happened at that point. Again, I wasn't close to God at all. I was just like, oh, money, this, buying things. When that happened, I started just like blaming God. Like,
Mm.
God, this is all I ever wanted. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have a kid, and you took that away from me. I was so like happy. I worked really hard. I helped my family. I retired my parents from work. So what else can I do? And I was just blaming it. Like, it's your
Mm.
fault. You don't love me. Things like that.
Yeah.
Then later on, like a year after, I ended up meeting someone that just started going to the gym again, taking care of myself and healing. And she's a Christian girl that I would never expect her to be Christian, because she's like bodybuilder. I was like, what? Okay. So she told me about the love of God.
Mm.
And then it's just like, no. I was like, that's not true. Like, he doesn't, like, this is what happened to me. And I was just very bitter inside, because I was
Yeah.
holding this pain and the grief. And then so she's like, let me invite you to church. So I went to church with her. And then it's so crazy. It's just like made me so emotional, because you
Yeah. It
can
makes me
really
too.
feel the love of God and the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit, and like feeling love again. And for me, in that feeling, it's just like I didn't want to leave the church. And I grew up Catholic. So it's
Okay.
just like, I never felt that being Catholic, because you're just like repeating the same thing. There, just for some reason, I felt love, like I felt what people says.
Mm-hmm.
So I got baptized later on, and now my life has completely changed because the love of God, and then the power of Him helping me grieve and basically let go. And then, it's kind of like you hold all these things inside, like the grief or pain or things that happen in, like rape or whatever happened in your life, and you hold it and you're walking with all this through your life.
Yeah.
When if you just let it go, you forgive. It's like things happen for a reason, and then things are going to happen the way that it needs to happen. And then once you do that, is you still remember. So of course I still remember. Of course I still like, oh, I feel, sad, but I don't feel it in a like a sorrow way. I just feel it more into like, it happened. It's a part of my story, but it's okay. But I'm okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Those shackles that we hold on to when we don't heal and let go. Oh my goodness, it keeps us from so much more that God wants to give us and the success that we want. We blame God for things, yet when we really sit down and truly see the power of God's love and his mercy and his grace,
Yeah.
he's not a controlling God. He
No.
doesn't dictate our lives. He lets us make those decisions. So it's not God doing it. It's our decisions, right? It's things that we are doing in life. And this shows even more of a loving God that we have, because he will give you the desires of your heart, even through the mess ups you do, the things that you have to go through. He's like, okay, you're healing. I'm here for you. And he's there for you through the whole thing, right? He's really there for you. And then he does give you the desires of your heart. So that is so powerful that, I always encourage women to just really, really heal from what they're going through, know their value, know they're loved, and know they're worthy of having what they want. Because when you can get a hold of that, the sky's the limit. So then you started going up, right? I think honestly, I'm listening to your story, and I think that is also another reason why you've had so much even more success afterwards, because you healed, you worked through it, and you truly found that love, from God, and you just took off again, right?
At the same time, it never ends, because
Yeah,
like there's always like you're evolving, you're like, it's like, oh, you
exactly.
went through this really hard thing, like other things can happen.
Right.
The reason why I moved to Arizona from Florida, where I was making really good money and everything, when COVID happened, I felt the sense. I was already baptized. I was just changing my life. Like it was just like a different. And I was living in an environment where I was like drinking all the time, going out, like clubs and, like social media influencers. That's
Yeah.
how, like, honestly, got, yeah, my social media is big, but it was because of the influencer thing, like going out with the
Yeah.
radicals,
Yeah.
like that. Um, but it just got to a point that I felt that I still needed to heal. I took everything, and that's what you said. It's so important. Before you do anything, you have to heal yourself from whatever is going on, and forgive. Like forgive. You don't have to talk to the people who has done wrong to
Right.
you, but
Just
forgive for yourself. Let it go for yourself, and be okay that that's part of your story. There's nothing you can do to change it. So I got to the sense of like, I'm not like, it's just like desperate. Like I need to leave. I sold everything in Miami, moved to Arizona. I've been here for 2 years
wow.
myself, and I dedicated these 2 years. I really haven't worked a lot, but I've dedicated these 2 years for myself to
Mhm.
learn how to become a better woman of God, understanding values, understanding what do you truly I want, empower women, like work on me so I can give. The more you work on yourself, the more you can give and build.
Amazing. Yep. You're speaking my language, girl. So we were talking on the phone one day, we were talking about you and how after you've gotten through all of your success and everything, feeling that burnt out, feeling, I resonated with that, with us both being through the industry and having success and being in it for so many years, you sometimes get that burnt out. So
Yeah.
what is some of the things that you're doing now to get yourself back inspired, get yourself back to going after more of the goals that now you've achieved some goals, now you're setting new goals. So what are those and how are you keeping yourself going and feeling inspired no matter the burnt out?
So first of all, it's been hard. Like it's been all this year. And to be honest, it's been all these years. Like, do I want to go back to build, like network marketing? Maybe. I love it. I love working with people. I love the passion. I love, helping other people make money. And then at the same time, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. So it's this back and forth.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is being patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Like understand yourself is like, have mercy on yourself. Like it's okay to feel like this anxiety. It's okay to feel this. So what the first thing that I started doing is writing down all the things that I'm good at. What are the things that I'm good at? What are the things that I can give? How do I see my life in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Writing goals, like how do I see myself as a woman, as a business owner, influencer, whatever it is? How do I see myself? And then I started writing, you know what? I do truly love, from everything that I was writing, I do truly love working with women. Like that's all the things that I wrote down. And then so you start, so like, like all the things that you're good at, or like that you like, things that you're good at, and then ask yourself, from all the things that I like, all the things that I'm good at, what are those things? What are the things that I can get paid for? And then so it's like, okay, I love working with women. I love teaching people how to make money online. That's like, I'm good at it. I know how to build social media. I know how to make money online. And I love working with women. So that's where like, okay, now what if I put those two things together? What if I found a company, like like a community or something where I can put myself and say my ideal customer are female that are being through like a lot of hardship in life and wants to make extra money. So since then, like now having that clear message that I'm giving, I started creating content. I started like going to like different seminars, different things that I can help women or that I can make money with, and then
Yeah.
utilize everything that I know, companies that I'm affiliated with, to bring that. So, and it's been a journey. Like it's a journey to like find, but again, every single step is a step forward. If you stay where you are with your grief, where you're like, I can't do it again, I'm too burned out, then it's just different. Like right now, I decided, because I never had a quote unquote a job besides work cleaning houses. So
Yeah.
right now, because I need to get out of my comfort zone. Like I need to, in order for you to have any success, you need to get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So a couple weeks ago, this company who works, it's a lawyer's company, firm. They help people that has been in accidents
Okay.
and helping get compensation, like all these things. They needed somebody to have to do marketing for them, and I'm really good at marketing. So it's like, I think I want to have a job.
So you took it?
So I do have a job a few days a week. I have to go to the
Wow.
office, and I do have and I do things that I love, marketing, like in
Yeah.
videos and marketing and teaching people how to how to grow their social media, which is something that I love. But I'm getting out of my comfort zone, waking up early, going to the office, dressing up because it's a lawyer's office, and
Yep.
all these things. But is it something that I love? No. Is it something that I'm gonna do forever? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But do I love meeting people, teaching people how to grow their social media, especially women that they hire only women? Absolutely. So
Yeah.
even though it's not my path, it's still going towards like I'm getting out of my comfort zone to do eventually what I love to do. And
Yeah.
then sometimes, but the problem with a lot of us is that we want the end result. We want the dream job. We want the dream position. We want the dream thing.
Dream income.
Yeah,
Right.
where sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do to start getting ahead. So yeah, like for the first time in my life, I have a job and I'm having fun. It's like, this is
Wow,
so
that's
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so a few days a week, I go to this office, I do my marketing, but now I'm truly, because all the women that I know and I'm surrounded with, they're entrepreneurs. And this is so crazy. God and everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
Because I'm only together with entrepreneurs. So we have the mindset of money, working, this is what we need to do, goal setting. And I really never have like people who doesn't have like that mentality. So the people that I'm meeting and the girls that I'm meeting, they don't believe they can have a business. They can only have a job. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them like me 20 years ago, not believing in myself. But now it's like, wow, maybe this is happening because then I can teach them how to actually become and believe in
You're
themselves.
supposed to be there for them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. It's funny that you're saying this because I'm watching people hit ranks and achieve their goals. Their one goal is to get to that top of like their company or make certain income, and that's their one goal. Well, what do you do after you hit that goal, right? What do you do? Just like, now I don't have a purpose? No, you have found a purpose within what you love to do, right? You're still, and it's still helping you get to even a higher rank and
yes,
higher income by doing what you're doing. And it's not about it's not a setback. When you're burnt, it's not a setback by getting yourself to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. It's actually inspiring you, right? And I think that's key. And I really want the ones that are listening to understand that it's not about you having, okay, now I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to try something different that, I'm not used to doing. You are already feeling inspired. And I can see that and hear that in your voice, in the way you're looking, that you're already inspired to actually, who knows, you might even now go achieve that rank again for like the third, fourth time. You know what I mean? Because it's helping you get that energy and fire back under you.
exactly. But you know what? The most important part was that I took myself to heal, first of all. The second, that I actually made clear who I want to help, what I want to do, and what is my purpose in life, which was inspiring and working with women. And then
Mm.
now, like, okay, I have this, I can help them with so many things. But
Yeah.
now, by finding this quote unquote job, now I get to accomplish what I do truly is my passion and purpose, to bring that power to
Yeah.
them back. So maybe I was
Absolutely.
looking in a different community. I was looking into entrepreneurs like us, but maybe what they need is another type of community. And that has opened in my mind to like, wow, like, let me do a dream board. Let me do, mindset. Let me share this book. Let me do this with people who never had that knowledge in their lives.
Right. And I bet you that dream board, but it's going to look completely different from that dream board
Oh, yeah.
years ago. And I bet you the books that you read before, you read them again, or the audios, it's going to sound different now.
Yes.
So, oh my God, girl, we could stay on this all day long and talk, but I want you to leave these women that are listening with something to take away. What is something that you can leave them with to help them feel inspired to get through this next week, to get through the next month, next year? What is it that you can leave them to just inspire them?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can say, but think about this. Your life, there is the two most important dates in your life is the day that you're born and the day that you die. When you are like in your tomb or like in the cemetery, those are the only two dates. The only thing that it says is your name in those 2 days. The year that you're born, the day that you die. But what is important is the dash, is the things that you do in between, because
Yeah.
that's what is going to leave the legacy to others. We have many different options and opportunities, and nothing is easy. Like, there's going to be sacrifices in whatever you do, career, anything you do. But, how amazing would be that people will say, like, when you die, when you pass away, say your kids, your family, your friends, say like, wow, she was absolutely incredible. She wrote this book. She built this business. She left this business for other generations. She like empowered so many people. She did so many things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you guys know Jessie Lee.
Yes. Yep.
Like the legacy that she left, like for the short period of time that she was alive,
Yeah.
she
Left a
taught
huge. Yeah.
absolutely everyone. But then the other option is, if we're lazy, if we don't take actions, if we don't heal ourselves, if we don't go through the pain and the sacrifices, then people will say at the end, it says like, oh, she has so much talent,
Yep.
however, she never did anything. Oh, feel so sorry for her. She could have done this. She could have do this, but she didn't. So
Mm.
at the end of the day, it's your decision. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to do the work for you. It takes work and sacrifices, but trust me, if you start working on yourself one day at a time, just one little step at a time, you will look back and say like, wow, like this is the woman that I'm proud of.
That's amazing. And ladies, me and Angee, we might not have had what we have here, and you have us, right? We might not have had the ladies in the community that we have here today. So yes, it's you that has to go and do it. It's you that has to go and do the activity. It's you that has to work on your mindset, and you have to find that power in you. And the belief, but you do have people like Angee and I that believe in you, and you can rent our belief in you until you get that belief if you need it. But I really hope that you take what Angee said today and dive into truly finding that inner power, find that belief, know that whether you've had the success already or not, that you're not alone, that you can still be inspired. You can light those coals again, because as long as you keep those coals heated, you can light them on fire again. Okay, that's the key. Stay close to the fire, stay close to a community of women that love you. We love you, and we're here for you. And with that, thank you so much for getting on this and doing this with me today. And just know that you're so loved, you're appreciated, and I'm always here for you as well.
Thank you so much. I absolutely love you all. And again, if anybody has any questions or needs just like that, that friendship, call us. We're here. We've been through, I'm sure, things that you've been through, and it's all about creating that bond and having the support. So thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for this time. I really, really appreciate you.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.